Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. Let's get creative and make us some jewelry. And I'm just trying to use up all my beads. I'll show you there, I'll show you here, beads. I have 2 stacks of this size. So some of it has been bought sustainably, some of it's upcycled, some of it's from thrift stores, some of it is bought from Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I'm not gonna lie. Today, we're gonna be making some jewelry for a little boutique shop that is run by my friend and her mom. They are very lovely people. And I'll show you here what we are making. And it's gonna be relatively simple because the cost is cheap. And the cost that it's sold at is cheap, so the cost that I want to sell it at is also cheap. Not that I want to sell it at, but it's what I'm going to sell it at. So, that being said, we're trying to keep the labor down a little bit. I've only got about 8 things made so far. This is our blueprint. I like making these sorts of necklaces for the shop because they are relatively simple to make, and I still feel like they're a nice statement piece. We are using sterling silver chain, so the quality is still there. I'm not saying the jump rings are sterling silver, just the chain, but I mean, that's pretty quality. And this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind necklace, so you're getting this for $10. Sorry, what? Okay. Normally, I sift through my beads when I'm making stuff for this. I'm just going to sift through and kind of find like a pendant piece that I want to start with and go from there. This is always such a good way to clear out my inventory. I've been trying to dwindle the amount of beads down that I have for a long time because I've had these for a long time. I've had the same beads forever. I don't need to buy anymore. I want to be sustainable only. So if I could get rid of what I've had forever, then I can start doing newer stuff. First thing I open is pearls. I open these pearls, so I think this would be a nice little statement piece. I think even pearl and blue would go beautifully together. So we're going to do pearl and blue. I feel like I should have a sheet of paper that I'm using here. I'm trying not to freak out so much about the process of recording. I want it to be nice, I want it to be good, quality, but I also just want to make my damn art. And so, I'm sorry if I'm a little all over the place, but it is what it is. I'm just going to do what I gotta do. Anyways, what I was talking about, how I had this laid out, I have it the bigger blue and then the square blue. But I have a happy accident here. I don't know if you can really even see it. But I've turned them on accident, and I actually really like that. I think that's going to look nice. Oops, not that though. That would be not possible. Anyways, I'm going to copy what I've done here to here. This is just personally how I like to work. I like to lay my stuff out for the most part. Sometimes I'll wing it on the go, but when I'm making these pre-made necklaces, I think it's nicer to lay everything out and then I can just build it and then assemble. I don't know why it feels like I'm treating this video like a how-to, and I don't know, maybe it's a how-to. Let me know if you're making jewelry along with me. That'd be sick. Jewelry time with Art by Sam. Jewelry time with Art by Sam. Maybe it can be creative time, getting creative. First off, I'm going to look through my O-rings that I have. Now I have quite a few of them. We could go absolutely massive. We could go slightly smaller. And these are thick boys. Like, I have really thick ones. I have really thin ones. So you can kind of see that I have 4 different types here. We have super big. We have a little big. We have one that's here that's a small jump ring, but it's really thick. And then we have these really thin ones. These were kind of before I was really caring about the durability of them. Not that I wasn't caring about it. Obviously, I'm putting all this work into my jewelry and people are paying for it, so I want it to last. I wasn't really thinking about these being so thin. Like, I can just pull this apart so easily. Like, if your necklace gets snagged and it's got one of these holding it together, that's going to come apart. I would prefer to use these thick jump rings, but I also like consistency, and I've run out of those and I haven't gone to the store to buy more because I am trying to use what I have. That being said, I've got 2 of them, so I might use them here because I want it to be the same on both sides, and I might use these thicker, smaller ones for the rest of it. And these thick ones are really nice, but they also have a particular look to them. Okay. So now we have this situation going on, right? Yeah. Now we have this, and if I flip it upside down, it looks like a person with legs. Now I'm going to attach that to these bad boys. And I don't think I'm going to use a jump ring to connect this chain to the pendant that we've made here. Alright, now we have something that looks like a necklace. Whoops. So there we go. Now we have a cute little necklace. Let's make some more. Okay, hello again. After some technical difficulties, got this camera recording again, and I've gone ahead and done the hard part for our second necklace, and I've picked out what I am gonna make it with. I've had these really neat guitar picks for a super long time, and I have so many of them. Look how many I have. I have so many. I have purple, green, blue, auburn, black. I have a lot. And so I was like, let's use them. Let's use one. And I've also had these really cool things. It's a box with like a jewel in it, and conveniently they come with their own jump rings, so that's going to be helpful for us. There we go. Okay, so now it should sit nice and even. Looking a little phallic-y at the moment. Hopefully that's remedied soon. Originally I was going to have these here and then these, but I might swap it. Sorry, dog is scratching. I might put these here and then do that just to help open the space a little bit. So let's see what that feels like. Not too bad. I think that's good. So this is what we got. I want to get the chain on here. I'm feeling like it's not bad. It's not bad. And I'm trying to roll with the punches. What's going on here? Something's awkward. I'm trying to roll with the punch. Like I said, I'm trying not to spend too long on these because I'm not selling them for very much, and it's an established thing I have. This one I'm trying to make a little shorter, and my neck right now, it's not connecting all the way, but it will probably change once I get the clasp on. I found one silver clasp, and so let's get that bad boy on there, and I'll probably use this big giant one on the other side, which might require another jump ring. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Okay. You know what? People have smaller necks than me, so maybe this is going on a... Yeah. You know what? I don't think that's too bad, and that's why we put extenders. So, not everything needs to be tailored to me. I really want to use this on the back here. This actually might be one that I think looks good like this. Like, I might not need to put something here, but especially for it being a smaller necklace, I do think it might be better to put an extender on it, specifically because it's a smaller necklace. I wish that this chain could open, like I wish I could open one of these little chain links and just hook it straight to this, but I can't. Requires another chain link or another jump ring. Luckily these fatties fit, so let's see how awkward it looks, because of the way this sits, this is gonna sit like this to it. So I don't know if I'm going to like that. It's also a little, well, let's just see how it looks. It's feeling a little stiff on the jump ring because the opening is just allowing for this jump ring to come through. So I feel like maybe it needs another ring at the end. I'm just going to use the heck out of these because I feel like these definitely are giving it a particular look. And I'm liking it. Okay. See, I've run into an issue. Do you see it? Do you see my issue? It's this. Isn't it? No, it's just because it's laying down. Never mind, I lied. I was worried that this bit was... What am I trying to say? I want this charm to be flat against, someone's back. And it is. Like this. So, here we go. We have a cute little necklace. And that one only took 14 minutes. So, the other one... Well, you know what? That might have taken a little bit longer. I didn't actually time how long it took me to pick out what I wanted. But let me source through the next batch. I did find this pendant earlier. Because I do a lot of upcycled jewelry, I've got a lot of pendants. So here I have a good amount of pendants. These ones are rather large. You might notice, if you haven't already, I'm using a lot of silver. And that's because fake gold chain, which is what I would be using, looks super cheap. I remember I had a buddy come down and we all, a bunch of friends came down and we were all going out to the bars, and my homie was wearing an all velvet tracksuit. Looked very like Slavic gangster. He looked sick. And I was like, dude, the only thing you need is a gold chain. And so I made him one. I just made him like a cheap one with the cheap gold chain that I had. And no lie, someone walked by him on the streets downtown Kansas City, and they were like, that chain ain't worth shit. They just could tell from walking by him. So ever since that moment, I have not touched that chain because I don't want someone walking by someone else wearing my jewelry and saying, that metal ain't worth shit, that jewelry ain't worth shit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, and so are the materials. So is the quality. And so that is why you will mostly only see me using silver until perhaps one day I can source, better looking metals. Anyways, here's what I got going on with upcycled pendantry. Massive. This one's massive, but look at it. It's so pretty. It's got like Swarovski crystals in it. Got a lot of blue going on. These are a lot. These are big. And so, anyways, I went off on a little bit of a tangent. Here's the other pendant I found. I think this one's so pretty. Ooh. So maybe we can do, maybe pink and green. Here's more pendants. Also massive. I have a hard time finding homes for these. And these might end up in found object projects or, non-jewelry related projects, because this is niche. This is chunky and heavy. Not that I couldn't make it work, not that, someone else couldn't make it work, but it's a lot. Like, look at this. These also look cheap and they feel cheap. So there's that too. These are weird. These came on a thrifted necklace, but they're made of, like, hair. They're made of, like, coconut fur. This is pretty. What's this? Matching necklace and earrings. Really pretty, like, tiger's eye looking thing. And I don't think that would be too hard to mix in with mixed metals. I used to hate mixed metals, and now I'm rocking mixed metals all the time. I always wear gold hoops in my nose and almost always have silver glasses, silver jewelry. Wearing jewelry now. Also jewelry I made. Let me show you. It is seashells that I found on the beach in Florida that conveniently already had a little hole in it. Apparently there's a snail that eats clams, and it uses its like a snout or something to drill a hole in the shell and sucks the clam out through this hole. So that's convenient for me because drilling holes into clam shells is actually really difficult. So snail did it for me completely au natural and washed, and made some little necklace, little earrings out of it. Let's check here. Maybe we got something going on in here. Maybe it's purple. Maybe it's purple and green. There's some of these pretty beads you can't even see. Let me push this stuff. Ooh, you know what? These don't have a good home, and I'm liking those. I'm liking those. Alright. So these are definitely plastic beads, but they do look pretty cool. Pink, purple, and orange. Magenta, purple, and orange. We might build up. Kind of like maybe we copy this, how it's bigger at the bottom and smaller at the top. It's adding something. So you could still, let's make sure that would this clasp fit through some of this chain? I mean, the clasp, not all the way. That's as far as it's fitting. But if you wanted it shorter, you could wear it shorter. But I probably wouldn't. I would probably wear it here. So it's going to be kind of a long necklace, but I think that's pretty. I made 3 necklaces, and I'm feeling pretty good at that. So I'm probably going to keep chugging along on maybe some bracelets. Let's make some bracelets now. I am going to pick all the beads off of camera because honestly it's a little bit distracting to be looking through them, and I just kind of want to show all the beads that I have instead of focusing on beads that I want to use for use. So I'm going to pick those off camera. And we'll probably just make one bracelet and then call it good. So let me make a bracelet. Back at it with the last thing that we're going to make today is just a little bracelet. I've done some pre-assemblage. This piece I am going to reuse. You would have seen it in the last bit, but I wasn't recording. This was pre-made. I've had this sitting in this little box forever. So I'm going to use that, and I found these 3 beads that I think pair well with it, and we're going to do a black clasp. I think the easiest, before I figure out the chain portion, because bracelets are quite a bit smaller, I'm going to hook these together and see, at least on my wrist, where it lands. Okay. So now we have this, and it's sitting pretty straight, but luckily these things are pretty malleable, so I'm just going to put a slight bend in it because I want it to fit the contour of a wrist. So I think that would, fit anyone's wrist really. But we're kind of about halfway. And I don't think I'm going to use any more jump rings. Well, I guess I'll have to use one for the lobster claw. Alright, and then normally what I will do is I'll use this on the other side as the closure, and then let's see if that's too big. And you know what? If it was too big, maybe it's an anklet. Maybe it's a keychain. I don't know. Alright, let's see if I can hook this bad boy on. Alright, it's a little bigger on me, but so you can tighten it, but then you're gonna have this little dangly bit, and I don't hate that. Like I said, normally I might put a little charm on here or something, but even then, like this I don't think looks inherently bad by any means. that's making some jewelry with Sam. I'm just trying to, be more creative and I want to make more videos. Let me know if there's anything you think I can do better with the videos or maybe with the angles or, content in general, or if there's anything you'd love to see from me. So, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh, can't get it. Well, don't get me, you little scoot.